What began as a peaceful fall day in 2019 turned into deadly chaos and heartbreaking tragedy. The last ride was a Larry Barker investigation involving one man's horrible death, another man's painful injury, and a high-ranking public official. Tonight, Larry Barker is back with a new development in the case. Could this be the final chapter? Here's Larry's follow-up to the last ride.
Today, this remote stretch of pavement along Highway 60 is quiet. But back on a fall day 4 years ago, mile marker 204 was ground zero for heartbreaking tragedy. That Saturday afternoon, all hell broke loose and lives were changed forever, just outside Mountain Air in central New Mexico. What happened that day was horrific. A vehicle plowed into two bicyclists, killing one and seriously injuring the other. When it came to hiking and cycling, Mountain Air residents Carl Baumgartner and Billy Weinman were inseparable.
You know, we were kind of like two grown men acting like a couple of kids at times. As a friend, he was a really great guy. We shared interests in sports, in films that we liked.
Carl is a retired machinist. Billy worked as a National Monument Park ranger. For Billy and Carl, cycling was a passion. At least twice a week, the experienced riders would tour Mountain Air's back roads. September 21st, 2019 would be the last ride.
He called me Saturday morning and he said, I feel like I need to get a little workout in. And I said, well, do you want to go for a hike? And he said, no, let's just go on a little bike ride.
They rode west of town, stopped for lunch at a nearby church, and then headed home along Highway 60. Billy was in front, Carl behind. 12:45 in the afternoon.
Where's your emergency?
I'm right outside of Mountain Air. There was two bicyclists and I hit him. I clipped them with my car.
A black SUV traveling about 45 miles an hour strikes both cyclists. The impact launched Carl into the brush. Billy was flung 60 feet.
They're both laying on the ground. I see one of them laying on the ground. One is breathing, I believe. The other one is not. He's not moving.
Paramedics and sheriff's deputies rushed to the scene.
We're going to be here a while. We will be here a while. Tell me what happened, sir.
We were riding up, and suddenly, boom.
Where are you, on the side of the road, middle of the road?
Side of the road.
Okay.
Someone didn't see us, I guess, and pulled over. And how's Billy, my friend?
Not too sure yet.
Is he okay?
Yeah, they're working on him.
In fact, Billy Weinman was dead. Carl Baumgartner was airlifted to Albuquerque with multiple injuries. The driver of the SUV was 43-year-old Shannon Murdoch.
There was two bicyclists and I hit him. I clipped them with my car. They were on the side and I couldn't get over and I clipped them.
Murdoch was ordered to perform a field sobriety test. Deputies say she did not appear to be driving under the influence of alcohol. After being read a Miranda warning, Murdoch invoked her right not to speak with deputies about the crash. Now, Shannon Murdoch is an expert on legal rights. In Torrance County, they don't call her Ms. Murdoch.
Are the parties ready to proceed?
They call her Your Honor. You see, Shannon Murdoch is a district court judge. So what happened that day? Well, we know weather was not a factor. The sun was overhead and the pavement was dry. The bicyclists were wearing bright clothing, and because there is no shoulder, they were legally riding on the right margin of the roadway. And there is no evidence to show Judge Murdoch tried to avoid the riders. Front-end damage to the SUV indicates it plowed into the bicyclists at full speed. Christy Chavez is an eyewitness. In a statement to police, Chavez says prior to the crash, she saw the SUV weaving in and out of traffic. Judge Murdoch refused to speak with police investigators about the fatal crash. Her only explanation came during the 911 call.
And did you not see them when you were driving, or?
Yeah, no, I didn't see them. And then when I did see them, I couldn't get over.
Following a state police investigation, prosecutors declined to file criminal charges. Insufficient evidence, they said. The judge was slapped with a traffic ticket. She pleaded no contest and paid $82 in court costs. However, this is not the end of the story. In 2020, Billy Weinman's family, along with Carl and Samantha Baumgartner, filed a wrongful death civil lawsuit against Judge Murdoch. That case was settled for almost $1 million. According to court documents, Shannon Murdoch, quote, agrees that she negligently operated her vehicle, thereby causing the death of Billy Weinman and serious injury to Carl Baumgartner. Shannon Murdoch was personally liable for $50,000, and because on that fateful day she was returning from a speaking engagement to drug court graduates, a judge ruled her employer, the 7th Judicial District Court, was, quote, vicariously liable for Shannon Murdoch's actions to the tune of $750,000 and another $200,000 to cover Carl Baumgartner's medical expenses. The 7th Judicial District Court, which includes Socorro, Sierra, Catron, and Torrance County, disputes the ruling that Judge Murdoch was on duty at the time of the crash. The court has appealed the $1 million judgment to New Mexico's Court of Appeals. A ruling in that case could take a year or more. Today, Carl Baumgartner has mostly recovered from his injuries. Outside their mountain air home is a touching memorial dedicated to their friend, Billy Weinman. Billy is survived by his son Matt, daughter-in-law Melissa, and granddaughter Rosie.
Well, he was one of the most intelligent and funniest people I'd ever met in my life. He had made me laugh my whole life. He loved being out in nature. He loved long hikes, and he loved bicycling through really beautiful areas of the country.
The world seemed like it turned upside down when Billy died. He was just really, really special, and we're missing out by him not being here with us on Earth.
Larry Barker, KRQE, News 13.